metal linens, and then the claret red runners on it. The Wilton Armatelle plates just go so well. I think what's the exciting part is when we were putting our sections together and realizing that Wilton Armatelle could be included is how you had Wilton years ago, and trends had changed, and now it's like, oh my gosh, that clean silver look is so in right now. So get some new pieces, dig the old stuff out, and really have that clean look. So this look is, think about fashion. Everything is that rosette flower.
Yes.
Every clothing, pillows. Yes. I even saw a tree skirt that's solid, rosetting. My husband thinks that I just buy this stuff because I'm in the flower industry, not realizing that it's everywhere. So the wreath in the center is just that clean, fluffy look. No greenery, just really solid rosette flower look. Having the mercury glass tall bases, accenting them with a little petals on top. We have the beautiful burgundy trees that is that clean line. And then having the cow lilies drooping out nice and graceful. Just a little bit of greenery added, not the big draping with the plumosa and everything like that. The beautiful amaryllis in the containers here, the mercury glass containers. What would have been perfect for this section, but we weren't able to get it. There is extensive flooding in Thailand right now, and that is where all the orchids are coming from. So orchids are a little hard to get right now. For Courtney's wedding, we were able to get, it's actually orchid garland. It almost, for lack of a better terminology, it looks like a boa of solid orchids. So we had floating arrangements in the room at Courtney's wedding and just draped them off of it. Even for her wedding, we were on pins and needles, of course. I had talked to the grower in Thailand months before. She told me when to have my order in. We did exactly what was called for. But when we were having the flooding here, flights were, of course, delayed. So this was in between all the hurricanes. So we had got word midweek, which I tried to keep from Courtney, that they did not know where the orchids were because all flights were delayed. So we were kind of just playing it by ear. They said, we do really think it is on a truck, though, somewhere coming this way. Our wholesalers did the best they can. Everybody kept on it. They were going to get special orchids UPS'd overnight to us if they could make that happen. But it takes so many orchids to make these garlands. But it's that clean look. So anyhow, long story short, they called and said they found the orchids. They arrived the morning of Courtney's wedding. I met my delivery guy at the back door at 6 o'clock in the morning with a knife in hand because the next concern was what's the quality of these orchids because they have been missing this whole time. They were absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I had to text Courtney a picture immediately and let her know. I didn't know if she was even up at that point, but I thought when she does get up, she will know that they have arrived. But for this section, they would have been beautiful. Even they are beautiful chair charms too, like swooshed on the back of a chair. They're just a beautiful garland of orchids. Courtney's adding some things here. There again, there's that Fuji mom that's just a big wow factor. They've really changed from years ago. Everybody remembers the mums that were the rusty brown, used for funerals. Everybody's like, oh no, mums, because that just reminds you of a funeral. But these new varieties are so crisp and clean. There again, it's because it's that heavy petal count, that real wow look. That's what all the brides are coming in wanting. Peonies, if we could get peonies in June and July, that would be awesome. But peonies, ranunculus, any of that real heavy petal count. Oh, and this is another heavy petal count. Here's a composite flower coming back in popularity. Would have been done years ago. You might have remembered composite bridal bouquets of gladiolas were used. You take the petals apart and you remake it. So this is actually I only used 2 roses to make this. Just did it on a piece of cardboard and glued it all back together. There again, it's one of those, it's not as easy as it looks to be. It does take a little, of course my first one's not as awesome as my other 3. So, but a beautiful look, something that really adds to the center of the plate. Okay, some more petal count.
Oh my gosh.
There's a beautiful vase that we encrusted with all the white petals. There again to keep that clean line and something different. And of course for a show we're going to add a beautiful design right on top. And this is how it happens when we set up events. It does take everybody to make sure it gets there in one piece. I just wish the events could always be held here so I don't have to try and transport this sort of thing, which gets quite challenging. But there again, keeping the clean look.